Hey Noel,
Hey Kacie,
how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good.
Good.
So you were talking a little bit about time management with me earlier, right?
Yeah.
Could you tell me what you were wanting to change with that?
Yeah. Lately, since the quarter's kind of gone on, I've been really struggling with time management. I feel like I just keep adding things to my schedule, but I keep forgetting that somewhere you have to find enough time to do everything.
Mm-hmm.
I always say yes to everything. So that's what I've been struggling with is figuring out like, do I say no or do I just kind of power through till the end of the quarter? I really need to just kind of figure out some kind of time management. Otherwise, I don't think I'm gonna be able to get everything done, and I'll probably be letting a lot of people down.
Right. So it sounds like you're really worried about not being able to help others out, and then also just a little bit of priorities, maybe.
Yeah, I have a lot of commitments that other people will have to rely on. Just like with my internship, I lead a small group, so if I don't give enough time to that, then like all the girls in my small group won't like have Bible study. And so I feel like, yeah, if I let down that commitment, then I'd be letting down a lot of people. And yeah, some other time management stuff that I've been struggling with is like managing my time with like my boyfriend and stuff because I don't want to let him down and I want to be able to spend time with him and classwork, like group work, you don't want to let your teammates down, things like that. So a lot of people, and I don't know how to prioritize how do you prioritize people? Like that's kind of what I've been struggling with.
Yeah. So it sounds like you are putting a lot of responsibility on yourself. Are there other people who you think could help you with that? Like with each of the different projects?
Yeah, I bet that, I mean, our major is pretty great at kind of helping each other out. So if I maybe asked my group mates, like, if they could help me out more, then they probably would be okay with it. But yeah, I definitely put a lot of pressure on myself to be able to get everything done.
So are you not getting the help that you're wanting from your teammates? Because it sounds like you're taking on a lot of, like I mentioned, like responsibility, and you're putting a lot of the responsibility on yourself. Are you able to, like, do you feel like you're taking care of yourself?
Well, I feel like I could be taking better care of myself. We talk about self-care all the time, and I feel like that's kind of the thing that I always get rid of, just to make more time for my other stuff, is I don't just take time every now and then to relax, which is probably not helping me very much. And I feel like my group mates, they're not pressuring me, but whenever we need something to be done, I always feel like I'm quick to volunteer and say that I can do it, and so I don't think that they'd be upset if anyone else had to do it. I probably just need to stop saying I'll do extra work.
So it sounds like you are taking on a lot. Can you think of any ways you could try to make it easier for yourself?
Oh, I mean, I think I would really want to kind of bring self-care back into my daily life, kind of realizing that burnout is real. So maybe I can just do that by like scheduling it into my day instead of just hoping there will be an opportunity, because it's not going to just like make itself appear. And maybe I could like try and figure out what my priorities are somehow.
So maybe prioritizing yourself more?
Yeah, just kind of figuring out what things are most important to me and then kind of figuring out my schedule based on that.
So when you're looking at all the things that you're having to juggle, how are you prioritizing stuff right now?
Yeah, I don't. I kind of just put everything as like a top priority, and work on everything like a little bit at a time. But I don't really just sit down and say homework is my number one priority right now and work on that until I get it done. So, yeah, maybe something I could do is kind of like figuring out my schedule and blocking out sections of things that are most important to me, since school is definitely should be a priority.
Right.
So that could be one thing I could do.
So if you were to sit down and try to figure out your priorities and kind of just block off the times, what are you hoping to accomplish? Like, where do you want to see yourself?
I would really like to not feel so overwhelmed, I think, and just kind of get everything. I like to feel organized. I don't like to feel disorganized. So I think if I got everything done and kind of reached all my goals, then maybe I could just feel a lot better and not feel overwhelmed. And then I would be able to make time for the biggest priorities in my life.
It sounds like you have a lot of big priorities. So understanding that you might not be able to like take things out, how do you think you can try to organize the different priorities?
Yeah, that's a good question.
So let's just pretend we're like sitting down and trying to not prioritize everything out, but would you just try to schedule it out, or try fitting different things in?
I think the scheduling things out really works for me. That's worked in the past. I just haven't really been doing it lately. I used to do this thing where I would color code, and then if I had too much of one color, I realized I was giving too much time to that priority. So I could try and even out my priorities a little bit more and give like them an equal amount of time instead of just stressing out about all of them at once.
So if we were to try to help you maybe go back to this old system of helping you prioritize, how likely do you think you would be able to implement it now? Like on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being not very likely or 10 being extremely likely.
I feel like I would probably be actually like a 7.5 or an 8 maybe, since it worked so well for me in the past, and I know how to do it, and I've told other people how to do it, but I just haven't been putting it into practice myself. So I feel like I could really do it if I just kind of sat down and took the time to schedule out everything.
It sounded like it really worked for you before, so what made you stop doing that?
I think I just time kind of gets away from you. Yeah, I don't think I ever said I'm gonna stop figuring out my schedule. It just kind of happened.
Okay. Well, I think this is a really good starting point for you, and kind of to understand where you are with your priorities and where you see yourself. So maybe next time you come in, we could really sit down and kind of just like force that schedule out.
Yeah.
And I know one of the things that you were really having problems with was saying no to some things. So maybe helping us come up with a plan for helping you decide when you can actually say no, or just take extra time for yourself.
Yeah, that all sounds really good.
Good. I think we'll be able to figure this out for you.
Okay, I hope so.
It was nice talking to you, Noelle.
Yeah, thanks, Kacie.
Yay.